Stop me if you've heard this story before. You find yourself in your private space. Okay, it's just the toilet. And your friend texts you this fancy new piece of tech. In this case, it happens to be the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i. This thing has these amazing dual-OLED panels that are not turned on right now. But as you can see, it's the super sleek and cool finish. And then it's got this like separate keyboard. That is the situation that I found myself in. And I found myself after 5 or 6 months kind of regretting my purchase. And let me spend the next few minutes telling you about why that is the case. So, for all intents and purposes, this is a really cool design and really cool laptop. This whole package actually comes in at less than 4 pounds, like 3.5 pounds. I think maybe 3 pounds if you drop the keyboard. And you get this really cool kind of like tent mode thing, which I can show you here like this. It's like this. I'm not exactly sure what you would be using this for. Maybe if you and someone else are playing Battleship or something, but it's a kind of nice to have kind of use case. And then when you decide to open up the keyboard, then you have this keyboard that kind of just sticks in here, and then you've got this whole real laptop. It's got a trackpad down here, and then it's got, the real keyboard experience. You can then fold up this thing in this kind of fancy little design like this, stack it up, and have this big mobile workstation. Here's the problem with this, though, that none of these reviewers are really talking about. This flexibility, not only are you paying for it in terms of the sheer price of this thing, especially with the prices of laptops and gaming handhelds and stuff like that, if you've been paying attention to them, but you're also paying in terms of sheer performance. This means that you are realistically paying so much more for this package. And full disclosure, I did purchase this myself. I believe I paid about $17.50 after taxes or so. Don't tell the wife. And the problem with that is that for that same amount of money, you could get something way more performant, maybe just as lightweight. And I don't know. Although I think this is a really cool piece of cutting edge technology, I'm finding myself regretting it. And here's where I regret it. I think that I really should have just not been wowed by the fancy OLED screens, because I do like those. I really need to think about these purchases because I have something like a gaming desktop and I have other lightweight gaming tablets and devices that this realistically doesn't serve a whole new purpose outside of having something brand new and flashy. What do I mean by this? You could accomplish 80 to 90% of this same package here with probably even an iPad Pro. And I don't mean the latest generation of iPad Pro. I mean like an older generation, and you just have a separate keyboard and the tablet sort of like this, and you get most of that experience. No, you don't get these nice dual 14-inch OLED displays, but you're also not paying this kind of price. I think for the description of that, I think for that package that I just described to you, you might be spending maybe a quarter of what the asking price is for this thing. And you may have noticed that this is kind of an ongoing theme of this new channel that I'm working on. And that is that, you can work with what you have, or you can actually really stretch the dollar that you have, if you have it lying around, to get yourself something that does pretty much everything that you want it to do, with exception of, maybe not having all the brand new latest and greatest bells and whistles and stuff like that. Now, I'm surely rambling at this point, but let me tell you what problems that I have with this that made me regret it. Once again, performance was an obvious one. Even though I find myself finding less time to game, this thing, when it games, is less performant than something like the newest AMD APU chip. I won't get into the nitty-gritty of that unless you want me to, but when it comes to the keyboard typing experience, it's also a little lackluster. You're not getting a fancy, big mechanical keyboard experience, and you're sacrificing there. So this is also the problem with this thing. You're getting a pseudo tablet experience. You're getting a pseudo convertible laptop experience. You're getting a pseudo pro mechanical keyboard typing experience. All of this is like a little compromise that you have to make in order to get this package to kind of work. So what I mean by this, that convertible tablet, let's say an ASUS Z13, which I do have a review planned for this, You can get this package for about the same price and probably tack on a portable monitor, a touchscreen one to add, and get pretty much the same experience. Hey, bud, you're back? Come on over. What's up? What do you got to show me? It's a computer. Uh-oh. Come here. I forgot my coffee. You got some? Do you have some coffee? No, why not? What have you got to show people today? Who's this? Ribbit. A ribbit? And who's this? Dinosaur. Okay. Dinosaur and ribbit. Are they hugging? Yes? Okay. That works for me. Are you leaving now? Or are you staying? You want to stay here? Mm-hmm. You want to tell the people what the problem with this thing is? Mm-hmm. The number one problem? Mm-hmm. The number one problem is probably battery life. Because this thing only has a 72-ish... You found a 1, yeah. And that's maybe the 1 hour you're going to get out of this. I'm just kidding. You do have, I believe, a 72 watt-hour battery in this. So it's going to last a decent amount of time. I wouldn't say all day driving both of those displays. And this is the number one problem. If you're going to play a game on this, you can get some decent performance, but you're not going to find yourself playing a game and then doing a bunch of other work or even media, brain rotting on the other screen. It's a kind of luxury that might be advertised in the videos, but it's not kind of a realistic scenario. And then, oh no, do you want to read a book? Okay. Yes, you do. So with this, you can actually open it up like this, dude, and you can read it like a book. Did you know that? So we got to go like this and read it like a book. Okay, let's read it like a book. Whoa. Do you like it? But is it worth the money? Whoa, like a book. Why didn't this screen work? Bless you. So here's another one of these problems that I didn't even mention. When you open it up like this book mode here, and this isn't exactly Lenovo's problem, this is the problem with these kind of dual displays on a Windows device. You can see here I open it up like this. This one rotated, but this one didn't. Why is that the case? Well, Lenovo... Whoa, you're falling down, dude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I got you. Do sell books. Book. It's like a book. But that. What's this? That looks like a train. But this. Actually, it's a gondola. You like gondola? Mm-hmm. What is a gondola? So as you can see, here's another problem here. I have rotated the display backwards, and this one is still left at portrait mode. So this is not necessarily Lenovo's problem. I'm not blaming them for that. This is more of a Windows thing, I think. But as you can see, this one has rotated to landscape. This one hasn't. And Lenovo has their own specific app. I don't even remember what it's called. And because of that, you're relying on this thing, which kind of works and kind of doesn't work. Windows in this way just wasn't kind of designed for this. That is another problem that you will find using this kind of device. Once again, I do love this device, especially with these beautiful displays. But the problem is there's a lot of jank that you're paying for. Is there jank that you're paying for? Yes. Say jank. Say jank. Jank. No, not Jake. Jank. Jank. See, I don't even remember what the dual monitor display thing is called. It's not Lenovo Vantage. It's something else. And this all adds up to a frustrating experience. Don't get me wrong. I do want Lenovo to continue to innovate and continue to do something new. That wind up solar powered keyboard and you want to go down? Okay, you want to go back to the 10? Please go back to the 10. Yeah, don't worry, Daddy got it. Bye bye. So here's what I mean when you take a look at this. You have to deal with this. I mean, it's beautiful when you have it set up. And, you get this nice rotation when you go and switch it back. When it works, it's amazing. It's beautiful. And then they have this like 10-finger touch, which I can't really do here while I'm holding this, but you can see you get the trackpad here. And then you can do the 10-finger touch, as I said. Touched it here, and then you pull up this virtual keyboard, which has haptics, so it does work well in that way. And the problem though is you're kind of locked to using these keys here, because you have to use this to bring up the on-screen controls, as you can see. And then you have to enable, you see it says rotation lock, you disable it, and then you get your rotation ability back. Normally though, see it says it's rotation locked, and then you're gonna have to do that again, and then you have to deal with this, and it's some shenanigans that otherwise would impede your experience. And this is one of the problems that I have, because you're reliant on this Lenovo app here, you can see. But like when it does work, I mean, it's awesome. Like it looks beautiful. You have these different gestures and stuff like that. It's just like, it's really cool, right? You can have, these touch keyboards and stuff. The problem is really that Windows is just not fun to use with this kind of additional built-in screen, which is realistically a pain. But like, look how cool these are when you have them set up. Like, it just looks awesome. So let me see this here as an example. Like, look at this. Like, that is so cool. Switch back. Like, look at that. How cool is that? But again, it's Windows shenanigans. Oh, well, as I say that, now it actually works. So anyway, yeah, there it is. I feel like this is a better experience. So it's more like 30 FPS, It's more like 30 FPS. As you can see, you can game on this like lower end-ish chip. I mean, it's by no means low end. It's an expensive device. I am selling this thing because I gotta make money for that Z13, but I gotta make some money back, I should say, for that Z13. But see, you can play on this, and it's all about that. Do you want the productivity first? Or do you want the gaming experience first? Or do you want the productivity as a possibility and then be able to turn on games when you want? So this one is the reverse of the Z13, which is play your games first, I guess, and then do your productivity second. So you're making some compromises on the productivity front, but it's still very doable because you still got a webcam and that kind of stuff. Whereas this, you got two screens built in, and you got your webcam, pretty high quality webcam, and then you're taking your compromise on your gaming performance. But as you can see, like you can still play. So overall, do I think anybody should realistically buy this Lenovo Yoga Book 9i? Short answer, you know what? If you're willing to go through a little bit of jank, it's yes. But I wouldn't pay this kind of money that I paid for it for this. For this reason, I will be selling this device. I'm going to try and get back as much money as I possibly can because it's got to pay for that Z13 that I've got coming up on the channel. But besides this, it's such a cool looking package. And it's very easy to be swayed by your friend sending you a really cool new device, and you go and look it up online to figure out how you can get a good deal on this thing. Don't be suckered in by just that. Figure out what suits your needs. As simple and boring as that sounds, or maybe as cliche as that sounds, figure out if you're going to be looking for a productivity device first and then a gaming device second, or the other way around. Really, that's all I got to say for today. Thanks for spending some time with me.